Hello, brothers and sisters, and welcome back for the Styx map pack update for Icarus on week 25. We've got some good stuff in here and a lot of fluff as well. We're just going to stick to the nitty gritty and keep this nice and quick, and we'll go into all the details tonight during the Twitch live stream. So do come check us out down below by dropping a follow on Twitch so you know when we go live tonight. But otherwise, we have a free DLC, a new 64-kilometer squared map and 14 new missions and creatures. So it's great. I hope they polished the map. I mean, just the way it looked a couple days ago, it looked like crap in a lot of spaces with some unrendered textures and a bunch of AI problems. But as long as all that's fixed, it should be great and a nice breath of fresh air and to get a more optimized map out of this. So now we'll have Olympus, which was the basic first map that we started the game with, and now we'll have Styx as well, and it's free for everyone who owns the game, and always free as long as you own the game currently. So even if they do, because they talked about this potentially becoming a paid DLC sometime down the road, maybe not though, but it would just be for new purchase buyers. It wouldn't be for any of us who already own the game, even if you haven't played since now till then. You would still be able to download it for free when you kick the game back up. So what do we have? We have a new 64-kilometer square map, 14 missions, creatures, crocodiles, Komodo dragons, the Kea. The creatures, I am super unexcited about, except for the Kea. The Kea is kind of cool. But crocodiles and Komodo dragons, I don't know. They just don't fit this biome. Like, you have Riverlands, which is just a forest with a big river in it, and you have the forest. None of those really have crocodiles. Like, I was expecting like to see them when they had a nice swamp biome come out, and then you bring out the crocodilus, you know. And same with the Komodo dragons. Like, they just don't match the world. Like, everything in the world right now is just so normal, right? Like what you would expect in a normal forest. Like, you've got bears, you've got wolves, and all of a sudden a Komodo dragon. Like, okay. But cool, as long as they work well and maybe they give them actual drops. Like, I mean, if the scorpions still drop bones rather than chitin, it's confusing. Let's make things make sense. Like, are the Keas going to give me feathers? Or are they just going to give me bones and stringy meat? Like, is it just another reskin? So the entire map is unlocked and able to be explored, including locations such as the Wall, the Ring Lake, and Great River, whatever. They just named some areas. And this is what I really find cool, is that missions that affect the map and will unlock shortcuts to new areas that kind of already existed, with how you could get into the desert like in M9, for instance. But more of that will be nice to see. And this is what I want to be seeing in these missions too, and I'm sure all of you do too, is actual tangible changes to Icarus with the missions we're doing, instead of just going down doing a mission and then coming back later and nothing we did's even there. Like, it just doesn't actually make sense. So they have a little trailer here. I'm not going to show it. It's just kind of some fluff. But do check it out if you like that. So it's centered around a long braided river, which the first cohort prospectors named Styx after one of the rivers in the underworld. And yeah, it's just pretty nice. Little FAQ down here as well. Why do a map pack using the same biomes? They pretty much said that they wanted to readdress their shortcomings in the original map that they did and have their world building team kind of work on the basics before they really got into the more higher level alien biomes. How does the DLC work? It, like I was saying before, it's always free for us as long as you own it. If you don't already own the game and you buy it later, at some point down the line, there could be a potential for it to go for sale instead of being free, but they say roughly $4 to $6 is what they're thinking, but you never know. So DLC content versus DLC expansions, huh? Yeah, whatever. It's the same thing. So I'm not even going to bother into that. It's just kind of a weird explanation breakdown for why they call it one thing or another. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's DLC, right? So why not vehicles? Now, this is something that I know a lot of people have been waiting for, especially with a new 64 square kilometer map in there. Might be laboring the point a little, but if our beta and launch taught us anything, is that we need to make some changes to how we were working. Jumping straight on to complex new tasks without confirming we had learned the lessons was dangerous. We all understand and agree that cool new content is needed. Transport has been an issue and long debated internally. And in fact, we devote an entire milestone with good results to how we should approach this. It is critical that we prove We have made the required adaptations as a studio, blah, 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 blah. They basically just say they don't have it under control. That's all I'm hearing there is that. Because vehicles existed in this game since the alpha version. Like, all the assets are there. They've had the vehicles. Hell, I'm pretty sure they did I don't know if it was a live stream, but they have their own videos of them using vehicles. So it's just that they don't work right, and they can't get it working, and with them still not here, it's not a priority. Like, if it was a priority, it'd be talked about more and everything like that. But everything they put out is just kind of like what I call like a cold feeler. It's to make you read about it, but it doesn't tell us anything. Nothing tangible that we can't do with yet. So why haven't we moved fast? Whatever. It's a gaming company. You can't really move too fast as a gaming company. That's pretty much what it says. Going fast is never good. Where are the alien biomes? In addition to the reasons, blah, 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 throwing some new biomes into the game without addressing any performance concerns related to them would be like adding a lot of new textures, models, sounds, animations, and such, and make matters worse. And this line kind of blows my mind, because I've been saying since day one, since they released this, that this is not a finished game. This is an early access. And these are the exact comments you would expect out of an early access. Whoopsies. Because if you have content that's just not working right now, like your main content, right? Your entire biomes right here, that's your entire game. Right? Like, Olympus and now Styx is the entire base of your game. So if you don't even have your basic textures, models, sounds, animations and ready, that's exactly what an early access is. So that's my whole thing on that. So basically they're saying their games, they're not happy with the performance aspect. So before they bring in new content, they need to fix the old content, existing content, which is what you do in an early access. But I digress. So not all of our different teams work at the same cadence as other teams, and we already have a backlog of exciting and in some cases downright terrifying new animals. Great. Why'd you give us a crocodile then? But we can't just throw them into the game until we can confirm we can wield them properly. So while frustrating, and I like how they say wield them properly, but they brought in 3 different animals. So does that mean they just have the same exact base of something already existing in the game? And that's why they could just kind of reskin them? Is that what that means? So the Kea, take a moment to go read. Yeah, the Kea is actually a really amazing bird. I'm actually happy to see the Kea. Again, I'm curious to see how they're going to fit this in, because they're kind of mountainous birds, but yeah, I don't know. So yeah, and then they kind of just go on talking about like they're sorry for such a sticky for the beta and the launch. And if you're sorry for the beta, then you shouldn't even need to be sorry for the launch, because you should have extended it and called it an early access. But whatever. So what do we have? In here, we've got 14 new missions, and I think they said there was 2 more coming out next week. And then we've got the familiar forest, Arctic, and desert. The map provides a fresh maze of pathways and missions to explore, including some time-saving shortcuts that can be permanently unlocked. Thank you. Your time in the Styx territory will start with an exploration mission before branching out to the more challenging extermination, expedition, and research. Available now. Yep, 2 more: rendezvous, delivery, and ballistic extermination next week. Okay, cool. That's what I thought. I remember reading that somewhere. I'm pretty sure it was last week they said something like that too. So if you haven't played in a while, you may be surprised what changed in the 25 weekly updates. Yeah, some good, some bad. Some good, some bad. So what's next? So already work on the New Frontiers, the first major paid expansion for Icarus, which is due later this year. And, you know, it kind of annoys me how they talk about like the next paid expansion when they keep saying their game's not even ready as it is now. But also, for all of my supporter packs out there, all of you are boned. Yep, you all got the big greenie. You got the big screw. You paid like, what, $100 for 2 outposts and got nothing out of it. Got absolutely nothing out of it. Like, the outposts just aren't up to date. Like, half the content's missing. And they gets no love. It has different bugs that have existed since day one, and it just doesn't get any love. So everyone who has that has paid for it, but now they can't even, they use it, but it's just not good. And now they're talking about more paid content. Like, yeah, sorry, early supporters, appreciate your money, but we're not giving you anything more. That's all I can get out of that. I didn't buy it because I knew it was going to be garbage, but that's just me. And then they're just talking about they're going to have a dev stream and an AMA. Go flood them about your auto run. your vehicles and all the things you've been wanting. So we've got an 8x8 kilometer map. We've got a bunch of new missions. Let's see. Expedition, exploration, expedition, survey, research, survey, construction, expeditions, explorations. Looks like we've got what? 3, 4, 5, 6 explorations. So half the missions are just explore the map in a specific biome. And if that's the case where it's just like you have like 30 days to do whatever you want, then I don't count those as real missions. So really half of the missions we got are fluff. If that's the case, we'll see tonight on Twitch. So make sure you do come by. And if you're loving this kind of content, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down below so you can get back here for next week's. All right, let's see. What do we got? New creatures, adolescent cave worms. This actually is the only creature here besides the Kea that actually interests me. So once they grow beyond their larval stage, prevalent in Icarus caves, they become significantly more dangerous and can venture beyond the subterranean nests. That's cool. I actually like that because I felt like they should be able to explore out. I mean, they kind of hinted to it when they did that, when they brought in all the new cave worm items and they were outside of a cave in the forest in the middle of nowhere. So that was fun. The rest of these don't really care for. Like I said, the K is kind of cool. I just don't know how well it's going to fit into the biome, and I already know these don't fit in well. It's just going to feel weird seeing them next to deer. Well, except for the crocodiles. I mean, that makes sense next to deer, but... So then they also talked about, like, improved player loadouts, handled the reduced chance of players losing loadout items. Like, that shouldn't be a case. Like, this is the core mechanics of the game. Why is this still happening? Fixed where players can be considered in cave when still outside the voxel entrance, which is just a funny one. So these are just some minor improvements, but I'm curious to see how well optimized the map Styx is. I mean, it looked absolutely awful when it was in the beta, like just unrendered areas, like AI glitching everywhere. So I'm curious to see how much they've polished since they put out that beta. And yeah, it's also why I don't do content on the beta, because the betas that they put out are just like hot garbage. Like, it makes the game look so much worse than it actually is because it's just a bad representation. But this is live now, so let's hope it doesn't look the same. But all right, brothers and sisters, I'm going to wrap this up here. I'll see you all tonight. I'll be on about 6 p.m. Eastern time, but I might be on earlier. It just kind of depends how the day goes. But all right, as usual, this has been ShabbyDoo. The rest of your day is not too shabby.